What is up, my comic comrades? We're here at Star Wars Celebration 2019 to bring you guys some more news from Day 2, Saturday, right here from the show floor. First up, we're going to talk about Galaxy's Edge, Disneyland and Disney World's new land. Then we're going to talk about Jedi Fallen Order, which is the new video game for Star Wars from EA Games. And then I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Marvel Comics' new slate of Star Wars titles. Starting at Galaxy's Edge, we attended the panel for that. Let me just say it was hosted by Josh Gad, so that should give you a scope of how big this panel was. For those of you who don't know, Josh Gad voiced Olaf, he was in Beauty and the Beast, he's in a bunch of stuff. You probably know who Josh Gad is. Anyway, the one thing we learned a lot of things, but one of the major things we learned about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is it's massive and super immersive. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is gonna be like the mecca. Like you could basically create your own, not basically, you can create your own character and your own Star Wars story. That's a big thing that we're pushing throughout the entire panel, that you can create your own Star Wars story and pretty much become a character in that universe. Also, as for the land itself, it's based on a planet created specifically for this land experience. So that's really, really cool. Everything's gonna be brand new, even for the most die-hard, in-depth Star Wars fan. But now, the rides, because that's why you go to theme parks, right? I mean, you go to walk around and have fun, but mainly the attractions. There's gonna be two, but only one when it opens this May, which is Smuggling Run, which is a ride where you pilot the Millennium Falcon. So first off, they have a 1:1 scale Millennium Falcon outside the ride, which is just awesome. And apparently you could even go inside of it and actually go inside the Millennium Falcon. But as for the ride itself, again, you're piloting it. And what's cool about it is it's pretty much different the entire time because it's kind of a team ride where two people will be piloting it, then you have a person who's a gunner, then you have someone working the buttons back here. So every time you're on it, it's gonna pretty much be a different experience because new people are gonna be doing different things, or you may be, you know, the pilot this time or the gunner that time. I'll also add, since you're piloting the ship or being the gunner for the ship, that affects how the ride experience goes and what happens after the ride. So again, I can't stress, every time you're on this ride, it's gonna be completely different, which is really, really cool. The next ride they have, which is gonna be open later this year, is Rise of the Resistance. Now this is an extremely immersive ride. Like, they were showing footage, a trailer of the ride, and they were saying at the end of it, they're like, that's not a set or anything that we shot this in, that we shot the trailer in. That's literally the ride itself, and it looks like a Star Wars set. So the ride itself looks ripped right out of the movies, and yes, I mean, I want it. The general premise of the ride is you're recruited by the Resistance, but at some point in the ride, you get captured by the First Order, and then obviously you have to escape. And the kicker is, it's said to have a runtime. The ride is said to have a runtime of around 20 minutes. That's an extremely long ride, considering most rides at Disney, Universal, or wherever you go are probably around like 2 to 5 tops. Pretty much every time you ride this ride, it's like you're being part of an actual Star Wars episode. Next up on the video game front, we have Jedi Fallen Order from EA Games. The big, huge part about this game, I know I said big and huge at the same time. Anyway, the huge part about this game is that it's a story-based game. So it's not like Battlefront where it's a shooter game, Call of Duty style and stuff. This is a story-based game where you're a Jedi that's fighting after Order 66 took place. And yes, it's a brand new character called Cal. It's actually being voiced by Cameron Monaghan from Gotham Joker fame and Shameless. So I am extremely excited to play this. Again, I don't play that many video games. I'm not like, you know, a gamer by any means. I play like the Arkham games and Injustice and stuff like that. But this is definitely gonna be added on my list. Besides Cal, they unveiled some other cool characters for the game, like the Purge Troopers. They look ridiculous. They got red eyes, these really cool like bow staff looking things, just awesome, and a brand new Inquisitor. Lastly, on the Marvel Comics front, which you know, comics is always near and dear to my heart, we have a whole new slate of Star Wars themed titles coming out for the rest of the year. The big major announcement is our buddy here at Variant, Greg Pak, is taking over the Star Wars title. He'll be taking over the Star Wars series with issue 67, but you can catch him right now working on the Star Wars Age of the Rebellion title, which is a bunch of one-shots focusing on characters like Boba Fett, Luke, Leia, Darth Vader, and more. Speaking of Age of the Rebellion, Tom Taylor is also going to be writing a slew of Star Wars books with Star Wars Age of the Resistance. He's going to be writing a bunch of one-shots around Finn, Captain Phasma, BB-8, and a bunch more of the other new characters from the brand new trilogy. But that's going to do it for our coverage today, but stay tuned for tomorrow's coverage because we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian. I'm sure they're going to release a teaser trailer or at least something for that, and I cannot wait to talk about that. But until then, I'll see you next time. I'll talk about all things comics.